Okay, let's go catch a fish without breaking our neck. October 13th or 14th. It's about 25 degrees this morning. It's pretty chilly. And hopefully, there's some whitefish stacking up in this hole. Get down to the river and catch a few fish for the family and have a blast while we do it. There it is. Oh my. She looks fishy. Okay, we got two options. So we're going to be fishing that small 1/8 ounce jig head, plain jig head with a little green tube, or this, we call it a whitefish spoon. It's basically a 3/8 ounce green body with a treble hook on the bottom. And every once in a while you do snag one on this, but as long as you're not too aggressive, you can get them to get that right in their mouth. Green is primarily the color that we use for these fish. I've caught them on white, I've caught them on pink, but usually green is your best bet, whether you're fishing for them in the lake or in the river. So the rods, this is an Okuma SST, medium light, 7 foot. Pretty good for fighting these fish in the river. And then the one that's got the 3/8 ounce spoon on it, I've got it on a Shakespeare Agility, medium action. Just a little bit more rod for that heavier spoon. So, all right, let's catch a fish. I'm gonna start with the spoon. Let's see what happens. If we could get, 2 of these, we could make it happen. If we got 3, we'd have plenty. 4 would be amazing. So I'm just going to kind of cast it up into the upper end of that hole, let that spoon get down to the bottom, and I'm going to gently start popping it along the bottom. And usually what happens is when you jig that spoon, it gets their attention and they kind of run over, and most of the time they scoop it up off the bottom. So like you don't always feel that bite. A lot of the times, you just go to pop that spoon a little bit again and it's already extra heavy, because that fish has already picked it up. And just finish with a good hook set. If you do feel them, a lot of the times it's a little misleading. It feels like a bluegill or a perch bite, where it's just kind of like tick tick, and then you set the hook into a much more substantial fish anyways. So we'll see. I'm gonna make some casts and make some magic. We got a leaf. All right, we're on the board. So far we're having brown salad for dinner. Blonk. I don't know if you can hear that on camera or not. Okay, come on, baby. Show me that there's a fish in here. Oh. It's on the jigging spoon. It's not fighting a whole lot. Usually, if you snag one, you know it, because it's like, holy crap, you can't hardly move them. And a lot of the times when you hook them in the mouth, man, this feels less like a fish and more like a stick. Oh no, it's a fish. Okay. This is my first time, so I don't really know. Just kidding. Whoa, and he shook the hook. Dag nabbit. Darn the bad luck, son of a... And we're just gonna get it back out there. Okay. Damn it. Come on, Mr. Whitefish. I'm just kind of bumping that spoon around down there, trying to get lucky. Seems like the later you get into the season, the better the fishing gets, just because there's so many more fish in the river. And like a lot of spawning fish, they're not feeding heavily, but usually you can get and there gets to be a lot of them in there, you can get a reaction out of them. And they'll grab on. A lot of the ones that I've cleaned that we've caught out of here this time of year, they all have gravel in their stomachs. I don't know what that's all about. Something to do with spawning, but they have like small amounts of gravel in their stomachs. Oh, we're hooked up. We hooked one for sure. This one's definitely a whitefish. You can tell because the way he's shaking. It's a little treacherous to land him over this way. So we're gonna hastily make our way across these rocks to get to where we can land him. Badass. Nice. Gotta get him out of that hole. He's kind of just buried himself down in there. Oh, there he goes. Come on, we need this one. We need this one. Oh, he does not want to come in. Oh, he's going way up into the rocks. What are you doing, fish? I think it's a whitefish. I can't tell. I don't know what the hell it is. He's unhappy. Oh, I think that's a whitey. Come up here, buddy. Swim up onto shore. Yeah, that's a nice one. Oh, a spoon just came out too. Come here, handsome. Oh God, got it. Look at that. Look at that thing. That's a pretty good one. Hope I don't have water on my camera. Look at that. Yeah, we need a couple more of those. See, the scales are kind of coming free and everything. They're in here spawning. And yeah, the reason that we lose so many of them, when you get them hooked, even when you hook them in the mouth, come here, buddy. We'll give you the dirt nap here in just a second. If you look in their mouth here, see how paper thin that sidewall is? I can literally just poke my finger through it. So a lot of the times that tears and your jig will come out. But if you get them right in the beak, they're pretty much a goner. So we're gonna put some water in our bucket and put that guy in the bucket. Pretty excited about that. Sweet. Okay, bucket, water. Need more. Okay, got some water. One thing that I like to do on these fish is they're real bloody and they're real slimy. So what I'll do is I'll actually hit them in the head and bleed them out, and that'll make my cleaning process later quite a bit easier. Let's just rinse them off and get one more look at him, and we'll catch another one. Yeah. Boy, that thing is amazing. We need a couple more. Okay, let's get this thing in the bucket. There he is. Okay, rinse our hands off. And I brought little hand warmers because, damn, but my hands are so cold I can't even tell if that thing's working. Caught a fish. Let's catch another one on the old jigging spoon. One more time. Well, we hooked up again, and now my GoPro is going to die. So probably not gonna see me fight or land this fish. Okay, well, naturally it happened right when the GoPro battery died, but if you look in our bucket, you can see two fish tails sticking out of there. These fish have been hit in the head, and I did rip their gills, so they are bleeding out, which is gonna make for a much easier cleaning process a little later on. With that being said, we still got a little bit of time left, so we're gonna try to see if we can catch one more on camera. Okay, there we go, just like that. Just like that. Sweet. Holy cannoli. We've got another one. And he's a really spunky. Gotta get over to where we can land him. Oh my God, tell me it's not a sucker. It's a stupid pike minnow. Wow. Well, we kill these, we use them for bait. They're big time minnow eaters, big time egg eaters. And we don't have a bounty on them around here, but there's no limit, and Fish and Game wants you to get them, because these guys eat little baby bull trout, they eat eggs, they eat all kinds of stuff. They're not very good to eat, but they are kind of cool. So we're going to knock him and then put him in the bucket. Oh man, we got one. We just hooked up. Holy crap. Oh no, don't break it off. Don't do it. This This is the one. This is the one. Oh my gosh. Please. Please be a whitefish. Oh, he just does not want to. No. Come in on this side of this stick. Nice whitefish. Oh no, get away from that stick. I guess you're coming up to this side. I'm just gonna kind of keep your head out of the water if you can. That's a nice one. Come here. Look at that, ate that spoon like it was nothing. And look at that, that's why we lose so many of them. See that? He's just barely hooked. Luckily we got him in that kind of meaty, see how easily that came out? Luckily we got him in that meaty part and not right there. So, hey, that's a nice one for sure. Look at that face. Blap, 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 blap. That's the one that we needed. We're gonna get this one killed and bleed it and put it in the bucket, and then we're gonna try to catch one more, and then we're gonna leave. So stay tuned, because it's gonna be awesome. Oh man, I could stay here and fish all day, but I need to get going. Doo-ba-doo. Let's get some of the nasty off of you guys. And look at that. That's a pretty sweet catching some fish there. You know what I mean? For these cars to pass. Okay, it's official. We made it back to the truck. Got our fishing gear, got our fish, super stoked. We've got to get out of town, load up some packages, go to the post office, swing by, pick up kiddo, and then we're gonna go clean these fish and get them ready for dinner tonight. So stay tuned, and I guess I'll see you when kiddo and I are about ready to clean these fish. We'll just jump right to that part with you right now. Are you ready to clean some fish, buddy? Yeah? All right, come here. Hey. Oh, you're heavy. Okay, we'll look in there. Nice big whitefish. What do you think? Good. All right. So we got our fillet station all set up, right, kiddo? We got the electric fillet knife just so that make things go smoother. An extra set of blades because I don't know which ones are sharper. This one's going to be for kind of finishing them off, the deboning process and everything. We got a bucket with garbage bag. Yes, it is sharp. Please don't step on it. And we got a bowl of water. We're going to be taking the fillets off the fish, putting them right into the water, and we're going to kind of rinse them a few times as we're getting all the fillets taken care of and ready to be cooked. So, let me touch it. Absolutely. Just kidding. The first thing we have to do is we're going to take these fins off the bottom because they make it a little bit more challenging to fillet. There's a hard little bone in between there, and if you try to just fillet right through it, a lot of the times you hang up on it and it becomes a pain. So to do that, we're just going to... There we go. Now that's just that fin taken off of there. So we're just gonna discard that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in behind this fin, cut down to the spine, and now we're gonna take it off. Hey, stand back, kiddo. Okay, there's our first fillet, and you can see after we bled that fish out, that meat is, it looks white already. So now we're gonna flip it over. You can see this is a male. I'm gonna flip this over. And the same thing. Follow that spine down. Just kind of take that whole fillet. What's that, buddy? Remove the meat from the skin, and I'm just gonna start right here at the back end and bring it a little closer to the edge. About like that. Okay, and you can see I wasn't pressing down really hard right here. I got a little far down, but if you stay elevated, you can get all the meat and you can leave a lot of that fat behind. That way all this red stuff right here sometimes will end up right on the fillet. But now we just kind of have that main strip to cut out of there. So now this one's pretty much prepped. We'll peel some of this out of here, and we're just going to set it off to the side in the water for a little bit and basically get through the rest of these doing the same thing. And I'm just kind of cleaning this area up now because we're going to kind of fine-tune these fillets and make them boneless. So We'll just start with a big fillet. So we've got this bloodline that I want to remove, and sometimes easiest to do it just right here at the beginning. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of make a V cut right along that bloodline, and I'm staying relatively flat with the knife.
See the blood?
Well, this is the blood. It doesn't really look like blood because most of the blood's gone. But I'm staying relatively flat. What I'm looking for is to kind of pop that bloodline out of there like that. See that? And it's just kind of a nasty bit of... Let's get a little lower here on this end.
Yucky, 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 yucky.
Yeah.
Why
We want to
did
get...
we take Gramps' stuff?
Now that's pretty clean. This chunk right here, even though there's no bones in it, it's pretty much just pure fish fat, and that's where a lot of that strong flavor comes from. So we're gonna get rid of that. So now we got to take you'll hear some people call it a Y bone. I call it a lateral bone. It's basically a pin bone that runs right here. So you have the
right there.
hey, hang on a second, kiddo. That's dry blood right there. So this is the rib cage bloodline. This would be like the spine of the fish, right near the spine. So the rib cage comes up like this, and then there's a set of lateral bones right here.
Can I
And they,
touch?
Brock, hold on a second, buddy. There's a set of lateral bones that runs about 2/3 of the length of the fish, say from like there to there. So basically headed towards the top of the fish, I'm gonna get on the side of those bones and kind of make an initial cut. Now I'm gonna kind of lay this knife out away and kind of angle cut away from the bones. And I'm going to go down to where I think they end, which is about right there. Now I'm going to come onto this side of the bone, and I'm basically going to make a straight cut, kind of straight down, angling towards the top of the fish. And that is going to be that strip that's holding those Y bones that I think you can see the top of a couple of them right there.
That's it.
So now this top piece is boneless. This we're just going to discard. And now when it comes to the rib cage, that's it, buddy. When it comes to the rib cage, I'll cut the rib cage off, and then I'll flip it over. And what I'll do is I'll kind of start at this thicker end, and I'll actually fillet, if I can, the meat right off of the back of the ribs to salvage that, because it's obviously a pretty nice big piece there. And there's what's left of the rib cage right there. So we've got it going on so far. This is garbage, and we cut out the pin bones. Now the rest of this is pretty much boneless, skinless, ready to be cut into chunks and fried. So we're just going to put this back in our water and grab our next whole fillet, and we're going to do the same thing, starting with the bloodline here in the middle. So there's our meat. Let's go put a little bit of fresh water in this thing. Okay, now we're just going to kind of fine tune, trim these pieces. Anything that we don't really like the look of, like that right there, we're just going to trim these off. And basically, when we're done with this process of it, they'll be ready to slice up into chunks and be ready to fry. So I'm going to cut them into smaller chunks as I'm cleaning them up. We'll go through all these little pieces and find these little imperfections like that there. And then we're going to give these one more good wash, but I mean, tell me that doesn't look like it's going to fry up beautifully. Pretty much good to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this water out, clean up our stuff here, and put these in the fridge until this afternoon. And I will see you guys when we're getting ready to cook them for dinner tonight. Here's all the fish. We're not going to be able to eat it all, so this is stuff we're going to cook. We're going to give this to my dad, some extra fillets there. We just won't be able to eat them all. First things first, we're going to season them, and then we're going to put this like egg and milk wash in the bag, and then we're going to pull them from there into another bag that's sitting over there right now. It'll have like the actual like crust. Okay, now these pieces of fish are pretty much ready to fry. We're just going to pull them out, set them on our cookie sheet, and they're just going to sit in the freezer for a few minutes until the oil is hot enough. There they are. They look like they're going to fry up amazing. So now we're just going to stick them in this freezer over here. I'm just going to set them in there for a few minutes. until the oil's ready. Cool. Okay, our oil is plenty hot enough, so we need to get a couple pieces of fish in there. I'm gonna drop this in.
If it's 1,300, 1,400, that's good. Oh my goodness, look at that. Wow. They're gonna be amazing.
I gotta snap one of these in half in front of the camera.
Only protein bar.
I mean,